I want you to have successful, fun first dates. All right. So I'm going to lay out for you 5 great first date tips for women. Now, my name is Stephan Laboussiere, aka Stephan Speaks, back with another dating and relationship advice video for women. All right. And before we get started into that topic, I need you to like this video, share it, and comment below. Just comment. Just give me your feedback on this video, what you're thinking, whatever the case may be. All right. So we're talking about first dates, and the reality is that dating can feel like an annoyance at times. It can feel like it's not worth it at times. But I feel like it's because we're not taking the most effective approach. We don't understand how to get better results. And so we're kind of fighting with one hand tied behind our back. And so I want to give you information and insight that's going to help you get better results. All right. So let's just get right into it. 5 first date tips for women. Tip number 1, and now I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm making this number 1 because I feel like this is just so important to emphasize. So tip number 1, speak in the positive during your date. Listen, you gotta understand that men are drawn to feminine energy, and people in general are drawn to positive and feminine energy. But one thing I've seen it in my own experiences, I've heard and seen it in other men's experiences, or from just women telling me what they went through, is women go on these dates and not being mindful of the negative tone in which they're speaking, not being mindful of the negative energy that they're giving off. Maybe it's because you're a bit guarded while you're on this date, you're overthinking and overanalyzing, so essentially you have walls up. And that is throwing things off, all right? I understand why you may be concerned, and there's reasons to be concerned anytime you're meeting someone new. However, you gotta go into this being open, being free, allowing yourself to enjoy, allowing yourself to speak more and walk more in positive and feminine energy. So when you are on this date, focus less on talking about things you don't like. Focus on talking about things you do like. Don't focus on the criticism of things. Focus on how you can point out beautiful things in this world. Like whatever it's going to take to keep you in that positive mindset, do that. Because when you come off so positive, loving, and feminine, that's going to draw in that man's attention even more. That is going to raise the chances of you guys being able to come together and that second date happening, and for something greater to happen in this situation. So you want to be very mindful and intentional to speak in the positive when you are on these first dates. Because remember, man, that first impression is very important. So don't let it be a negative one. Now, number 2, all right? And technically you could say this should have been before number 1. I just felt like number 1 was too important to make it number 2. Anyways, number 2, take your appearance seriously. Now listen, I know you're like, what you mean? Of course we take it seriously. I know that you do to you. But what I mean is this. You're going out with a man, and a lot of you aren't always being mindful of bringing your best. Now again, it's not that we're trying to make it all about how you look in your physical appearance, but let's not act like that doesn't play a role in the evaluation of if we want to build a relationship with someone. And we, again, want to make a great first impression. So you not only want to make sure you're trying to look your best, but you're looking your best as far as what appeals to men. Now, please don't misconstrue that to think, I want you to be out there with your breasts all hanging out because you think it's going to get a man's attention even more. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, there are certain clothes and styles and colors even that are going to work more in your favor, that are going to be specific to you and what works well with you. And so you want to learn to identify these things in advance so that you can go in with your best. So you know how like with work, people have a power suit, all right, when they go on interviews. So find your power outfit for dates. Now, you may not want to wear the same outfit every single time you go on a first date, even though that's your choice. But even if it's multiple outfits of the same style that encompass those colors, that style, that fit, that works well with you and your body, find that and then use it to your advantage. Now, here's a little key to finding that great style that's going to be effective for you. Get the opinion of other men. A lot of y'all are going out with the opinions of women leading you, all right? And sometimes they may be great opinions, and other times your girlfriends are setting you up, having you look a hot mess when you walk out that house. And you think you're good, but you're not. You're not as good as you think you're looking, all right? And it's not you're not capable of looking much better. It's just that you are not tapping in to the style that truly works for you and the color. And let me just emphasize, I do think that in most cases, wearing colorful clothes will work to your advantage on your first date. Because going back to point number one, color can emit energy, so you want something that's bright, colorful, it's more positive, it's more warm, it's more inviting, rather than the dark colored clothes. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any exceptions to that rule, but I do think, again, in most cases, the color will work more to your advantage. But either way, find that style, find that power outfit that's gonna work well for you, and then rock that, all right? And again, get the opinions of other men. I know when I would go shopping, whether it be for cologne or clothes, all right, I would get the opinions of women because I'm trying to attract women. I wasn't trying, why would I get the opinions of my friends, my homeboys, when I'm trying to go out with ladies? Find out what they like, what they think is appealing on me, and then use that. So I think you should do the same thing. Talk to the men, get their insight, and then use that to your advantage. The number three first date tip for you, all right, is smell good. It's so simple, yet it is overlooked all the time, all right? The power of smell is something serious. I said in the previous video, it's called 3 Ways to Become More Attractive, that smelling good makes everybody a little bit cuter. Like everybody looks a little bit better when they smell good. And again, we're focusing on that first impression. Now, I would love for you to consistently aim to smell good, of course, but we're gonna go on that first date. We wanna come with our best foot forward. So whether that be nice smelling lotions or oils, whatever it is, perfume, whatever it works for you, make it happen, but make sure you smell nice. Put some effort into that, all right? Because again, that's going to have an impact. And when you start combining these things, you're smelling good, you're wearing your power outfit, you're speaking positive, exuding feminine energy, I'm telling you, you're going to see your results go through the roof. I'm not exaggerating. You're going to see things be so much better. Even in cases where maybe this guy just isn't for you, because that's just the way it's going to be sometimes, you're going to have much more enjoyable experiences. And I believe you will also just feel better and more confident, which will also translate well in your first date. All right. Number 4 first date tip is let the conversation flow. So here's a huge mistake a lot of women make, is you go into these dates interrogating the man, or prepared to interrogate, and that's what ends up happening. And you're just running off these questions and you're just trying to dig. And listen, there is nothing wrong with asking questions. There is nothing wrong with diving deep into each other and trying to get to know each other on the first date. I know some people may say, no, you need to wait. No, forget all that. There's nothing wrong with having deep discussions on the first date. But there's a difference between a natural flow of conversation that takes us there versus trying to interrogate and force the issue. You don't want to come off like that. You don't want to come off like it's this strict interview that you're having. You just want to talk, all right? And even if you have your certain questions that you want to ask, flow with the conversation. Because again, if you guys start going into what he's purposed doing, let's say he found his purpose, I don't know why it's coming to my mind, but let's say he found his purpose and you're talking about that, all right? And you guys are having a great discussion. Well, you just don't stop in the mid-discussion and say, okay, so do you want kids? Like, you can't, that's bad. You're breaking the flow of it. Now, if he naturally, in discussing his purpose, brings up family and kids, now it's a perfect time to ask about his position or his perception of kids. But you don't force it in there. So just let things flow. Be aware. Be present in the moment. Because the reality is that when we're not letting things flow, we're not present in the conversation. We're more so in our mind. We're overthinking, we're overanalyzing, and so we're not really paying attention and listening to what they're saying that allows us to now flow and connect logical conversation to what's being discussed at the moment. So be very, very mindful of that on your first dates. And then last but not least, flirt, but don't get sexual. This is number 5. And this is a very important first date tip because again, I think a lot of women have lost the art of flirtation. And the reason why flirtation is so important is because flirtation is in essence presents or shows desire, okay? And everyone wants to feel desired. And everyone wants to feel like you're actually interested in them. So when you're flirting, that makes them feel like, oh, okay, she actually likes me. There's something here that makes them feel good, that allows the situation to progress in a very positive manner. But you want to make sure you don't cross the line of the flirtation becoming sexual, all right? Because we don't want this to become a sexual situation. If we're trying to date for the purpose of relationship and eventually marriage, then we need to leave the sex off the table for as long as possible. I mean, ideally, of course, waiting till marriage, if you're a believer, is what you should be doing. But I know that doesn't apply to everybody. Everybody doesn't adhere to that. But at the very least, we want to delay that as much as possible and keep the focus on getting to know each other, see if there's a connection there. But flirting helps in the, again, expressing desire, expressing interest, and it increases the positivity of the situation. It just makes things a lot better overall. So simple flirting is complimenting him, you know, being willing to be affectionate, again, affectionate within certain bounds. So it could be hugs, or a nice hug, kissing the cheek, things of that nature. That shows a level of affection and flirtation that doesn't take it to the level of being sexual. Now, if he by chance takes your flirtation and tries to now make a sexual attempt, just simply know, hey, that's not too fast. Let's not go there yet. And if he's serious about you and very interested, he's not going to be offended or bothered by that. He'll respect you and he'll understand. He'll leave it alone. So don't get into your mind and think, well, I can't be flirtatious because he's going to take it the wrong way. No, you'll simply correct that issue if it does go in that direction. But you still want to work at that. Those compliments can go a long, long way. So those are my 5 first date tips for women, 5 great first date tips for women. Again, be sure to like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments below if there's any first date tips you think would be good for the other listeners to see and to read about. Let's talk about it in the comment section. But again, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.